A week ago, Ted Cruz called baristas slackers, and since then, his coffee has been about 50% spit by volume. And I don't think he can really go in that fashion for much longer. He wants the real deal, the actual caffeinated coffee. And so he is now attempting to walk back his very clear condescending comments. Take a look at this.
When I said that some slackers are baristas, they translated that into all baristas are slackers.
Are slackers, right?
Which is
just not.
Maybe you could help me out with deductive logic, but I'm pretty sure that second statement doesn't flow from the first. Are there people who wasted years studying utterly useless things, who couldn't get a job afterwards and who are now working as a barista and are slackers? Yes, those people do exist. Is every barista slacker? Of course not. They're wonderful, great people who are baristas, who, by the way, many of whom don't have student loans and are getting screwed by the Democrats because they're saying the guy that studied queer pet literature and has $100,000 in debt because, oddly enough, to reference another podcast, Mickey and Pluto going at it, other than getting a job at Disney, there's not a lot of job market for queer pet literature.
Okay, we'll return to the queer pet literature in just a second. So first of all, I love Michael Knowles with his weird, creepy Pinocchio smile during that. He did the same smile at the original Slackers comment. He loved painting the working class with that broad brush. He thought it was hilarious when it happened. But now it's like, oh, those people so misunderstood you. And by the way, if you're going to do what is essentially a backtrack, trying to get these people to not hate you, saying that some of you didn't understand that I didn't mean all of you because you're so dumb that you don't understand deductive reasoning, maybe is a bit condescending for an apology. I would say maybe don't do that. And then maybe don't immediately transition to, yeah, but a lot of them, slackers, definitely. The others are dummies who are being conned by the Democrats, but most of them are slackers who are only concerned with reading experimental literature written by people who are interested in the sexuality of dogs. Oh, and also, let's talk again about how I fantasize about two cartoon dogs going at it. The entire thing is a mess, Francesca, and I don't know how to follow this.
No, I don't either, but I definitely hear him saying, and I think that elitists say this a lot, right? That they like their workers to keep their heads down. They want their workers to not be people who have higher educations or degrees like they do. They want their worker bees to just be contented with their $7.25 an hour. Don't be uppity, and there's nothing wrong with that. You're a wonderful little worker bee, and I know you can't make ends meet, and yeah, your boss will not let you know what hours you're working until like the hour of the work, but that's fine. That's exactly what he's saying. He's like, I'm okay with baristas so long as they're not actually trying to get a higher education and have to take out student loans because it is so overpriced. And I'm not going to do anything as a senator to work on lowering the cost of higher learning. No. I'm just going to be on a podcast for, I don't know, what is it? What does Rogan do? Let's do how long Rogan does. 5 hours, 7? We'll go for that long. Hey, brown noser, you got enough fake smiles in you for 7 hours? Cool. Like, I'm sorry, I forgot his name. But just,
so did Cruz.
Right. Absolutely. And so I also, God, I forgot there's so much in there, but I just wanted to mention that one little caveat. Ted Cruz never made himself like a good cup of coffee in his whole life. Mark my words.
Yeah, look, again, they're competing with each other to, again, like he's trying to pretend that he wasn't trying to invoke the stereotype of lazy people who have easy jobs. That's what he thinks a barista is. He thinks it's an easy thing to do. And you know why he thinks that? Because he doesn't have to work, and he hasn't had to actually work for weeks. I was a barista for years. It is very, very stressful, very difficult work. You have to wake up super early. You know, like when you, Ted Cruz, you get to cruise over for an early morning coffee. You know why that coffee's there? Because somebody's been at work for 90 minutes, 2 hours at that point, prepping all of that and making it so that you can get your little sandwich and your little pastry and your little coffee, because they woke up at the crack of dawn and they've been working. And very often, there's only a couple of them that have to manage a big business, tons of people coming through. It is incredibly difficult work. And he transitions immediately from pretending that he wasn't painting them with a broad brush to, college kids with their queer pet literature, their lesbian dance theory, if you're a fan of Lauren Boebert. First of all, you can study whatever the hell you want in college. You know what some people study? Engineering and medicine and like pharmacy and like all professionals basically also go there. And they have to pretend that doesn't exist, that whatever thing they're demonizing, that's the only thing that's studied. And they do that to try to delude people into thinking that student debt cancellation isn't a good idea, to try to push for less education generally. The entire thing is pathetic. It's consistent for Cruz, though.